Let's go over some important policies and procedures. A parent or guardian must complete and sign a registration form for each child before that child may enter any of our environments. Registration forms will be kept on file and updated annually. Parents are asked to inform us of any important changes that occur during the year. When a parent is not present to register a child, every effort will be made to send a registration form home to the parents so it may be filled out and returned. All children must be checked in and checked out by an adult or teenage sibling each time they enter and leave any of our environments. Please note the following procedure. A check-in station staffed by a trained check-in volunteer will be located at the door of each ministry room. Check-in stations will open 15 minutes prior to the start of each service. When a minimum of 2 approved ministry personnel have arrived to the room, parents are asked not to check in children or leave children unattended in any of our rooms before this time. Parents will be required to accompany their children to the check-in station before the service to check them in and return after the service to check them out. Upon check-in, the child will receive a tag, which they must wear on their person at all times. The parent will be given a matching tag, which they must keep and return after the service in order to check their child out of the program. Check-in tags may not be kept by family from week to week, but must be handed back to the check-in volunteer after each service. Once a child has been checked into an FBC program, it is our job to ensure that they are never found in any uncontrolled or unsafe situation. At no time will a check-in child be left alone in a room without any approved FBC Kids volunteers, except in the case of bathroom usage. When a child arrives at a check-in station, the parents will be asked to fill out a registration form for each individual child. Registration forms must be filled out by a parent or legal guardian of the child, otherwise they will not be considered valid. At the beginning of the ministry year, September, parents will be asked to submit new registration forms to verify that their child's information is up to date. Children may not be left unsupervised in any of our ministry rooms. Children are not to be dropped off in the nursery, preschool, or Kids Quest rooms when approved ministry personnel are not present. Children may not play in our ministry rooms after checkout has been completed and the room has been closed. In order to ensure the safest environment and best experience for each child, only approved ministry personnel who have been through our screening process will be permitted to enter our ministry environments. Exceptions will be made only when parent assistance is required. Friends or family visiting cannot come into the room to see you or lead your group with you unless they have completed our application process. Accidents happen, emergencies take you by surprise, kids get sick and hurt sometimes. Our role is to be prepared and take precautions to ensure safety of all children, as well as members or visitors of all ages. Children who are showing symptoms of illness are asked not to enter any of our ministry environments for the safety and health of other children and volunteers. Ministry personnel are not to give or apply any medications. Parents are to be contacted and should administer all medications. Medication should not be left in the ministry room. If a child arrives with a medication, it should be kept in the possession of the ministry director or supervisor on duty. In the extreme case when EpiPens and puffers are needed for allergies or asthma, written instructions are to be provided by the parent or guardian to the ministry leader. Requests should be written, signed, dated, and filed permanently. There are emergency evacuation procedures posted in each ministry room and first aid kits. The supervisor on duty or ministry director will contact the parent when an injury, accident, or medical emergency occurs. Incident reports are to be completed for any and all accidents. Injuries are to be reported to the ministry director. In the case of a missing student, the ministry director and or supervisor on duty must be informed immediately to initiate a search of the premise. The ministry director or supervisor on duty will contact the parent to inform them of the search. A shutdown of all our rooms will commence, and no greeter will let anyone in or out of the room. Since our ministry environments are attached to the regular flow and traffic of our whole church, we take careful precautions to ensure the safety of our children regarding bathroom policy. In the case of diapering, it is strongly encouraged that parents do diapering. Diapering will only be done by adult personnel in the view of another ministry personnel. Diapering will only be done in the nursery room, not in other public bathrooms or other ministry rooms. Diapering procedures are posted at the diapering station in the nursery room. The following directions are for nursery and preschool children requiring bathroom assistance. In both our nursery and our preschool rooms, there are bathrooms available. An adult leader of the same gender will accompany the child requiring assistance to the bathroom located in the ministry area. In the case that an adult leader of the same sex is not available to assist a child in the bathroom, a female leader is permitted to assist the opposite sex, or a male leader will find a female staff or approved volunteer to assist a female child in the bathroom. No ministry personnel will ever be alone with a child in an unsupervised washroom, and they are never to go into a cubicle with a child and shut the door. When assistance is needed, the outside washroom door must be propped open and the adult should stand in the open doorway, taking into consideration the privacy of the child. The leader will ensure that he/she and the child has washed their hands prior to returning to the nursery environment. The following guidelines are for the elementary children requiring bathroom assistance. In our elementary environments, we do not have specific washrooms for the children. Thus, they must use the same washrooms as everyone else in the building. Similar to the nursery and preschool direction regarding gender, except 2 leaders will accompany the child to the public washroom. Both leaders will accompany the child into the bathroom and wait outside the stall until assistance is required. When assistance is needed, one leader will enter the bathroom stall and assist the child with the stall door open, while one other leader or child waits in the large bathroom area. In the case of a female leader assisting a boy, the boy may use the women's washroom following the above protocol, or 2 unrelated female leaders may accompany the boy to the nearest individual bathroom. One leader will stand in the door with the door propped, providing privacy for the child, while the other assists the child in the bathroom. Leaders will always ensure that they and each child have washed their hands and will accompany the group back to their room. In the case of a child not requiring bathroom assistance, a leader will accompany the child to the individual bathroom located near the nursing mother's room, or the individual wheelchair bathroom. The leader will wait in the hallway as the child uses the bathroom with the door closed and locked. The leader will accompany the child back to his or her room. In the case of a group of students who do not require assistance, 2 leaders may take the group into the public washroom to use the stalls, provided that one leader checks first to make sure the bathroom is not occupied, and the door to the hallway is propped open at all times. Ministry personnel are never to be alone with children in an unsupervised bathroom, and are never to enter into a cubicle with a child and shut the door. Recognize that children need appropriate displays of affection that reflect pure, genuine, and positive displays of God's love. Appropriate touch with children will be age and developmentally appropriate. All touch must be done in the view of others. Recognize that the innocence of children must be protected. Ministry leaders will be made aware that the following actions are deemed inappropriate and will not be permitted. Do not kiss a child or coax a child to kiss you. Do not engage in extended hugging or tickling. Do not hold a child's face when talking or disciplining a child. Do not touch a child in any area that would be covered by a bathing suit. Do not carry older children and do not allow them to sit on your lap. Avoid prolonged physical contact with any child or youth. Ministry personnel are never to be alone with a child or a youth. At FBC Kids, we hope to foster a sense of both fun and learning. Often discipline can be handled by redirecting the child to a more constructive use of time and energy. Keeping the learning environment active and fun will usually eliminate the need for a lot of discipline. However, children must also understand the importance of respecting others by listening when they are talking, keeping them hands to themselves, etc. It's important not to disrupt group times because that takes away from the fun and learning of fellow students. Always try to direct behavior and involve a coach or director if needed. More information on discipline is in your handbook. Relationships between children and ministry personnel are to be conducted within the parameters set by the church. Communication outside the scheduled program should only be done with parents' knowledge, and when possible with the participation of the parent and guardian. No photographs of the children should be taken and posted online or on a personal social media account. FBC Kids volunteers are representatives of the church. Please represent us well through your communications and social media outlets. First Baptist Church supports and maintains an environment free of child abuse and neglect. Child abuse and neglect include physical or mental injury, sexual abuse, neglect treatment, or maltreatment. Sexual abuse can be defined as the use, persuasion, or coercion of any child for the sexual gratification of an adult or another child. This can take many forms, including rape, exposing a child's private areas, indecent comments, fondling, allowing a child to view pornographic material, or producing any visual depiction of any such conduct with children. It is against the law and against FBC Kids policy for any volunteer or employed staff to physically, sexually, or mentally abuse or neglect any child. FBC reserves the right to exclude from affiliation with FBC Kids any person who has or has been convicted of child abuse or neglect of any child. All volunteers and employees shall immediately report and document any incident of abuse or violation of the two-adult or open-door policy by which they have acknowledged or which they have observed. Any person making such a report shall keep this information strictly confidential. More information about our policy against child abuse can be found in our handbook. FBC Kids strives to ensure an environment where everyone can feel safe and secure. Just as the employees in a place of business are on the front lines of ensuring the safety of customers, the volunteers of the church serve on the front lines of ensuring the safety of those we minister to. In general, as volunteers, you should strive to serve using good common sense safety practices. Refrain from unsafe acts that might endanger yourself, the person you serve, or other volunteers. Report any unsafe situations or acts immediately to your ministry director or coach. If you're not sure what to do, ask. Thank you for your patience. If you have any questions, check out your handbook for more information on all of these topics.